So I'm taking snow in right now. I ran out my 100-gallon tank, so I'm melting it on the wood stove, putting it in my Berkey filter and filtering it so I have drinking water and water I can use in making food stuff. And it's just easier. I don't think I could get any water out of my spring right now. I'm sure that the pump line's frozen. The pump's probably frozen. So, plus this is my mill, and I want to start unburying it and start clearing this area out and getting it ready for spring, or make it so I can start working sooner on projects. I think we'll go up today. I've cut down 4 trees. Need to cut down some more that are about 6 inches in diameter, but it's tall and straight. The reason I want to cut those is I got to do 2 12-foot sections, and then I got to do some 5-foot sections. I want it to be about a 3x3 smoker. So a 3x3 interior by about 6 feet tall, I think, as far as the walls go. That should be tall enough. And then off to the side of the smoker, I want to build a rack that I can store wood on and keep it dry. I'm going to put that on the other side of the cabin over here. And that's something I really want to get going on. Probably one of the first things I want to get going on while the ground's thawing, so that then I can come back and start working on the spring next, get that spring done. And then from there, I want to move back up here on the other side of the mill behind the camera. And I'll show you that area actually. Let me get this put away and I'll be right back. So it does take quite a bit of snow to get this to fill up, but I leave it on the wood stove all day long. And if the fire goes out in here, I get residual heat from this that helps keep it getting too cold in here. And then when I wake up, I just start a new fire. So overnight, this thing can go out and this will stay warm or hot for hours. It's just insane. So works out pretty good. I found that to be pretty efficient. And may not look the best, but it works. It's a very tiny space, so it doesn't take a whole lot to heat up this space. So I can't just stoke this thing to the top. It gets too hot, especially in the loft. But well, how about we go out there, I'll show you the other spots. I'll show you where I'm going to put the smokehouse, and I may drop plans for that. I was thinking about just winging it, but I might sit down and do some plan drawing and stuff while the weather's bad. But right now, like I said, I'm going to see if I can go up and maybe cut down 2 more trees today and delimb, maybe even section them. And the snow's pretty deep. We'll see what I can do. So you can see the snow's pretty deep here. I'm about my kneecaps right here. So pretty darn deep. Sometimes I don't sink all the way down. Anyway, okay, so this is kind of the area I'm thinking right here. Maybe actually right about here, near this tree here, and it slopes down from here. So put the smokehouse right about here, which I'll be able to check it out through my window here. And then down here just a little ways, I'll put my wood stove that I had in my cabin originally, and I'll run the pipe up about 6 feet up to the smokehouse. So it'll be a cold smoker in the summer. And yeah, that's how I plan it. And then I'll just come down here and feed the fire in it. Like I said, I just wanted it somewhere I could keep an eye on it as well and watch its progress and be close to the cabin. All right, so I'll go up and I'll show you the shop area I want to build down here this year. So next winter, I'm not sitting around doing nothing. I'm gonna be prepared for next winter to start building, I guess you could just say, stuff for the other cabin, furniture and stuff. You know, I'll probably build a island. That's one of the things I want to get prepped and built. Another thing I'd like to get built would be the starting of a couch. I got to find the couch cushions that I can buy. And so I want to make basically a log couch. So there's some projects I have in the back of my mind to do in that shop when I get done. Another thing is I have wood growing by the creek down there. I think it's ash. I want to do a recurve bow. I want to build a recurve bow and build my own arrows. So that's something else I want to do one of these winters. That just all depends on, I got to let the wood dry for a while before I even start to build it. So I'll cut some of the wood down there, bring it in there, and let it set for a year. So that'll be probably a second season in that shop that'll do that. This area here comes off my driveway, so I could back in here with the truck, or I could pull the tractor in here if I wanted to drop something off at the work area. So this is where I did the tarp tent last year over all my stuff, and I dropped the tarp down over all my stuff that's under it. And it's, of course, it's got a good couple feet of snow on it. But once this all gets thawed out enough, I can clear it out and stuff, I might start scraping snow off to help it melt faster. Between all these trees here, I got a pretty good width. I may take out this one little tree right in the middle here, but I got to thin out this area anyway a little bit. But I'm going to build a building in here. I'm hoping that I can build it about 16 feet deep and about 20 feet long, and I'll put a small deck off it right here and the front door. I do have somebody I met in town when I went into town that's got some windows that they're getting rid of. They don't need them. So he asked me if I wanted them, and they'll work perfect for this build. He says they're nice large wood windows, and then some of them don't open, but that's fine. It's just a workshop, and whatever I can get will work. He's going to give them to me, so I appreciate that very much. And well, so this will be the shop area right here that I hope to get done this year. It's not going to be insulated anytime soon because that takes money. I won't actually have any kind of income until September. Then I'll finally be of age to get Social Security. So once they start doing that all winter, I'll save up my Social Security so that I can start buying insulation for the other cabin I'm building. Still not going to worry about this as long as it's a shelter. I have decided I've got a small cube wood stove, so I don't have to go buy another thing. I'm going to go ahead and install it in this place. So it's going to get a small wood stove that'll hold 6-inch logs, you know, little logs in it, and that should be adequate to keep that area warm enough to work in. So that's kind of the game plan. Besides the fact up above, I got to move the foundation, and on the cabin build, I've done some more design changes to it. I've added 3 feet to the depth, so now it'll be 21 feet deep by 36 feet long still. But I also changed the deck. Somebody on Facebook convinced me to go a little larger in the deck, so I decided to go 10 feet deep on the deck, but it'll still be a 36-foot deck. I think that'll give me plenty of room to do things and use that as a nice area to relax in as well as do projects. So this year, so far, I've been working with my scrap wood from my milling. This here and stuff under my knees here is ash. I'm going to save that for that smoker. I've said that before, I believe, but anyway, this is all just scraps I've been using, which is helpful. I'm not wasting any of my wood. I'm just sitting out there and burning scrap wood for the heck of it. I went around today, checked out the area a little bit, thought I could maybe cut up some of the logs from the trees that fell this winter and drag them out by hand, but the snow's up to my kneecaps almost. In some places it's over it, and there's just no way. I can barely walk through the stuff to get anywhere without getting exhausted. So unfortunately, I was hoping to do a video with some good content on it. I don't have the ability to do anything right now. My property, as a lot of you already know, I'm on a mountain, so it's sloped. It's got a gradual grade to it, which I like. It's not bad, but there's no flat spots unless I make them with my tractor. So I'll just have to wait till we get a little bit of a thaw before I can start actually doing anything. Of course, we get a thaw, usually what happens is it freezes up and turns to ice, and there's another issue right there. So we'll see. This is just a winter update. Snow to melt for water. Whoa. It's over my boots. I know this is clean snow. The dogs haven't been on it. Like I said, I got to get this all cleared off anyway. All right. Now that my boots are full of snow. Okay. Try to get to it without too much sinking in the snow. What a bummer. I was looking forward to barbecuing. I don't know where the heck that thing is. Well, live and learn, I guess. It's like it's buried. There's a bunch of sawdust down here too. It's like it's buried under that. I mean, if I could at least plug it in, I could at least cook right here. But I got pellets in there. Doesn't look like that's going to happen though. Has solid ice down here. That sucks. Alright, well, I give up. That's not going to happen. I can't do anything out here in this frozen weather right now. Everything I try, it's a fail. It is just a fail. It's too bad. I would have liked to have barbecued these, but we'll cook them up like this in here. I was going to cook some vegetables anyway, so go ahead and get that all going here. snow water. Fresh, cold mountain snow water. For those of you that didn't see this tiny cabin I'm in is just my temporary build. It was so I could get out of a travel trailer and get rid of it. Been living off the money from the travel trailer. Went through my retirement Roth, buying the property, getting the equipment, and tooling up for building my own stuff here. So now I'm living on the last, maybe $1,300. So I got to survive the rest of this year till I reach 62. So this September I'll be able to start drawing from Social Security and be able to live on that. But everything's paid for. I mean, I've got to pay for taxes. I got to pay for dog food, right, Sage? And my phone bill, which is fairly inexpensive. Then my Wi-Fi, I have the Starlink. That's $120 a month. No, not yet. You wait. You can smell the food, can't you? I know. What do you think, Sage? What do you think, sweetie? That's a good girl. Yeah. Papa's cooking lunch. You know that means you get to eat lunch too. I know. You gotta wait till it's done. Yes. Really? I know. You're hungry. You don't have to tell me. Are you never hungry? Oh yeah, you're always hungry. Okay. You just be patient, okay? Right. You just be patient, sweetie. Sage is usually a pretty quiet dog, except for when I start cooking. And she kind of gets a little bit hungry. Oh, sorry. She gets a little hangry. But not a whole lot I can do around here. Yesterday I went out and I thought, oh, I'll cut some of the small logs up into sections that I have those trees cut down for building the smokehouse this year. Because I thought, well, while the ground's frozen, I could still work on that and start getting that built. And just about to my knees is the snow, so there's no way I could pull a log. Even I have to pull a couple 12-footers, and then the rest of them are like 5 or 6 footers that I'll be pulling out. But they're about 8 inches in diameter. But there's just no way in that snow, because I'd have to do it manually. I couldn't do it with a snowmobile. It's just too deep of snow to work. I can't even turn the snowmobile around in that kind of snow. Now the next cabin build's going to be stick built, a little bit different than this one, but pretty close to the same. Other than this thing's about, I think it's 8 or 9 feet deep, and it's about 11 or 12 feet in length. It's a small cabin. Then I did an extension and put in a bathroom with a compost toilet and a shower, and it also houses a 100-gallon tank that I have plumbed into here. And on the side here I have an on-demand hot water small unit from Thermomate that I use. And I get hot water really quick because it's just a short run. But, no. Anyways, I got one more cabin to build that's kind of stick built. I'm milling all the wood myself, for those of you that haven't been following along. I'm still working on the plans. I've been revising them. I did show the plans about 3 videos ago. And they've been updated again since, and I've actually made the cabin a little bit deeper, about 3 feet deeper, and I made the deck about 3 feet deeper as well in addition to that. So I'll get that all built here over the next couple years. I'm milling wood this year for it, as well as the Appalachian cabin, which is a log cabin that I'm going to be building at the upper part of my acreage. So I'm on my lower 20, and I've got another cabin I want to build up on my upper 20 acres. And that's going to be a little bit slower of a build, but I've been milling 12 by 6 beams for that build as I go. Whenever I can come across a tree that's big enough, I just make sure and save the 12 by 6 beam off of it that I'm milling on my lumber mill. So everything here, except for if I use OSB on the flooring or the walls and insulation, anything wood for the most part, I'm making it all myself here. I'm going to start making shingles here. I got a tamarack tree cut down. But like I said, I mean, this time of year, I just can't do anything around here. It's all sloped property. We get a lot of snow here. Just in limbo. I could go ice fishing maybe, but I can't even get out of here with my truck this year. So next year with my Social Security money, I'll have enough money to go and start clearing the road, my driveway and the road, so I can get out of here. And that's going to be the game plan for that. So I know I'm kind of rambling on. Well, I was thinking here, I do that a lot in the wintertime. I just sit and think about things I want to do. I've got a cedar strip canoe, flat bottom one, old one that I found in Idaho. I went and bought a couple of years ago. It needs restored. I got this idea in my head of restoring it, and I'm going to hang it in the living room above on the, there's going to be beams running across. So I'm going to hang it across some beams, run power down. I don't want to ruin the boat, mind you, but I want to put LED lights in it so I have lights in the living room, and it's going to be a decorative light that's on rafters, so it'll look like a boat that's just being stored, but there'll be lights hidden inside of it and wiring that comes down. And I'll just tuck it in one corner somewhere. I'm not going to drill through the boat or screw anything up because it's an antique. But I thought it'd make a neat lighting and conversational piece in the living room of the cabin that I'm building. So that's a process. It's a thought. Don't know if I'm actually going to do it, but I'm thinking about, because Sage doesn't really know about boats. She's never been in one. And I'm afraid to put her in that boat because I'm afraid that she'll tip me over. So I'm thinking about buying a 10 or 12 foot John boat, because those have the good flat bottom. They're stable, you can stand in them. I could put her in that and teach her about staying put and something like that easier. And if she doesn't stay put, I don't risk the chance of tipping over. And she loves to play in the water, so odds are she'll jump out of the boat into the water, and that would tip me over. So I'm going to look into a John boat. I found a 10-footer you can buy for like $1,100. I'd like a 12-footer, but for a couple hundred more, I could buy a 14-footer. Of course, the lakes I fish in around here, they're paddle only. You could probably use an electric motor in it, but there are no motors. So I imagine electric motor would be fine because it's not fuel related. So I'd have to research that a little more. Would be nice to be able to put an electric motor on the back of even a 10-footer if I did that and just cruise around, and then I could troll, or I could just fish, you know, with a anchor it and fish, or just coast and fish. So those are things I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about fishing a lot lately. So in fact, I just went out and got my fishing license, so I'm good to go for this year of 2025. But I think, at least I hope, I can get the smokehouse built before I go fishing, because I really want to try some smoke recipes for trout. And I got so many plans. I want to do a sun dehydrator at some point. We get a lot of sun in the summer here, so, and I've got some good open areas I could do that in and build a sun dehydrator. So I got plans for something like that. So you gotta stick around if you want to see the stuff that I'm going to build. It's a lot of off the wall type of stuff, but living off grid and stuff, I'm trying to get as close to being self-sufficient as possible. Creating a garden up here at this next cabin build. I got a great garden area there. I just ordered I got 3 table grape plants, 3 different ones. I think 2 are white grapes and one's like a reddish grape, reddish purple. And then I got 2 more blueberry plants, so I got a total of 6 blueberry plants now. And then I've got, gosh, what was the other thing I ordered? I got a couple other plants ordered, fruit plants. I can't think what they are right off the top of my head. But anyway, I'm going to start building, not this year maybe, possibly this year. Because I got a lot of wood to mill this year, so I've got wood already. I'm going to use the outer parts that come from my milling. I'm going to make raised beds for those. I'm going to do them about 2 rows up. That's all. Then I'm going to have posts come up high enough that I can actually go around them with basically chicken wire, staple that around them so that I can also then do a, well, I might just do shade cloth hoops. Make hoops and shade cloth them. I was thinking about trying to make the hoops out of wood rather than going out and buying PVC, the piping, the plastic piping. You can bend really easy and put down. And I had a shade cloth. When summer came, I kept the plastic on there and put the shade cloth on because I ended up killing a bunch of my apple trees that were in there. So that's okay. I am learning about the area, learning about plants. I've never done any of this, not even building it. My background is automotive. I've built, I built a kit car once. I've restored a lot of old cars. The kit car was an old race car style. I bought a replica GT40, had somebody build that, and then I had to come back and pull the motor and trans up and fix the transmission because they did a bad job on that part of it. But the rest of the car was beautiful. Didn't like it. It was a hot, obnoxious car, so I ended up selling that after putting 500 miles on it, deciding I didn't like it. And then I just reinvested that money into a home. So I had a couple homes at one point. So there were things I did that moved me ahead. You know, I took losses and then I regained my losses later. So, but now I'm at a point in my life where I go to town. I try to go to town only once a month, sometimes twice a month. Right now, this winter, I've been very fortunate. I've got 2 neighbors that will contact me when they go to town. And if I got to go to town, I'll say yeah. Or if I don't, I'll just tell them I don't have to. So they've been very good with me, letting me ride along with them. And during the winter time, so which is about 5 months long, I have no insurance on my vehicle. So my vehicle's snowed in and stopped, so is my tractor. I just don't use it. So that saves me some money. This year, I really won't have any money to go to town. I do have plenty of food. At one point I bought freeze-dried food, a lot of it, and I was meant to use it throughout the winters while I'm here, and then when that stock depletes, do it again. But I bought close to $3,000 worth of freeze-dried food, so I got a lot of food. I'm not hurting food-wise. The food's repetitive and it's really not all that good. If you can dock it up with some meats and stuff, it's pretty good then. You can make it good. Gardening, that should make a good difference, because you know, if I can get some Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, I can get some lettuce growing, stuff like that, that would be nice. Oh, there goes Sage, she wants one. Do you have enough of that cold, Sage? Mm-hmm. Was that enough of that cold, sweetie? Yeah, I love this. Like I said, even though I'm going to have a wood cooker in the other place, I'm going to put one of these in too. I bought another one, so I have another one of these to put in. And because I'm going to plumb the place with propane, just like this place, I got to finish the plumbing on this one. I got the whole place plumbed, so I can run the refrigerator on it because it's a propane fridge, but I haven't put the final valves, or I don't know what you call those things, but they're so that the pressure is at 11 water column. So 11 water column is your standard in the US anyway for your appliances that are propane powered. So I've got the propane line runs here, one behind there. I have one in the bathroom for an on-demand hot water system, which I had temporarily, but the one I bought was a Camplux. And unfortunately, the Camplux failed me twice. They gave a replacement to me, which failed as well. So I haven't replaced it. I do have a third Camplux. I have a full house Camplux that's going to go in the other build. Fingers crossed it works okay. These camp ones that were for outdoor hanging, they didn't work good at all for me. One of them did for, say, 6 months. But as soon as I brought it inside and plumbed the outlet, I plumbed it outside on a pipe, it didn't work anymore. And then the other one I bought worked maybe a week. The second one that they sent me, I didn't buy it. It maybe worked for a week, and it died. Most of their products are really good. I think most people have had good luck with the Camplux outdoor camping one that hangs. Like I said, the first 6 months of using it in the summer, it was great. What, Sage? What? You wait. You wait. Come here. Come here. You wait, okay? You wait, sweetie. You'll be fine. You'll survive. Yes, you will. It's not the end of the world yet. That's what my parents used to tell me. It's not the end of the world. So I came out here to get away from the hustle and bustle, and that worked. I really would have loved to have found a property with a river running through it. I did find one in Colville, Washington, but that's Indian reservation. And my big concern about buying land there, and I think it was only 20 acres, but that was fine because I had a river running through it. But my big concern was, if for some reason they decided, well, we don't want you living here anymore, because it's really just a 100-year lease. You're buying it, but it's really just a lease when it's Indian territory. 100 years, I'm not going to live that long, so that's fine. But like I said, they could take it from you at any point in your life. And at my age, I couldn't afford to take that chance of having somebody taking that land from me. That was my fear. I don't know if that's real. I'm not saying they can for sure, but that was my fear, and that kept me from buying that piece of land. So this one here, of course, it's got a creek on it, but I can't fish on it. There's no fish in that creek. Whereas if I would have bought in Colville, I don't know if that was the San Poil River. I can't remember now, but I believe there's fish in there that you can catch. All right, we're barbecue sauced on up on these babies. One of the things, I got a ladder that pivots on this thing here. Don't do what I did. It's a tiny cabin. I really had no choice. But every time you walk up the steps, of course, they rest against the counter here. But every time I walk up those things, this gets all dirty in here. And to be honest, that's a pain because it happens fast. I'm tracking stuff in all the time. So, but the loft up above, that's my bedroom and the dog's bedroom. I don't like them being down here in the lower level because the floor, even though it's insulated, and I've got 3 inches of material before the insulation, just the same, it's cold. I just don't want them getting hurt. I don't want to wake up one morning and have hot dogs that are frozen. Right, Sage? No frozen hot doggies. No wiener doggies. And I do have a wiener dog. Cooper. Cooper's a little dachshund. He's a rescue. He's a good boy. He doesn't go everywhere like Sage does. Sage goes every place with me. But I love animals, so I couldn't live here without a dog. I mean, I needed my companion. And Sage has been such a good companion. She's such a good girl. You know you're a good girl, don't you? You know you are. You're such a good poochie pooch. So the other cabin is now going to be 20 feet deep by 36 feet long. It's going to have one bedroom down below with a bathroom next to it. It's going to have a 5 foot wide by 5 foot deep. I think it's 5 foot, maybe 6 feet. It just depends what I feel at the time. I drew it up as 5 foot by 5 foot pantry. The refrigerator behind me is going to go in that pantry because it's kind of ugly, and I'd rather it just be in there so I don't have to look at it. Oh, you agree, don't you? Okay. Anyhow, that's going to be nice. And then I'm going to put stairs up to a loft above the bathroom and the bedroom. And I'm going to wall that about 3 feet from the edge. So I'm going to have that jet on out, and I'm going to run posts and stuff. And I'll rail that, and I'll run steps. Sage, no. Shh. No. Then I'll run steps up to that. And I may wall it in the middle so that there's 2 rooms up there that could be either bedrooms, in my case, storage rooms. But if somebody came along, like my kids, I could put a room up there so we could all stay in the same place, or they could stay in here. Odds are they probably want to stay in here because it's just if they stay for a short time, this cabin would give them their privacy, you know. Get my vegetables. I think the chicken's ready. I got to get Sage to come back in. Hang up that stuff. Hopefully this is still good and hot. Oh yeah, it's steaming. Whoops. Lost a piece of vegetable. That's your toy out there, huh? There we go. I'll come back for these later. In fact, I'm at it. I'm going to keep this covered. Go, Sage. There we go. That's what I mean. It's right over it's close enough to this that anything that's on your feet, if you go outside, will drop all over it. And of course, Sage knows it's time to go up and eat. Are you hungry? I bet you're hungry, aren't you? All right. So I got to carry them up all the time. I'll show you. And they go up and away. Luckily, I got wide enough steps here. Otherwise, that'd be a pain. But that's how I bring them up there. They're both waiting for food. And Sage, you waiting for food, sweetie? Hi. Are you waiting for chow? Huh? Silly dog. You're silly. That's what a dog looks like, hanging over your food and dripping her drool on it. That's what I have to deal with, is a drooling dog. Right, Sage? It's all about food, isn't it? It's all about food. Mm-hmm.